Hello, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, conversations worth having. Today we are going to talk about how you're only one post away from going viral. That's right. You. Yeah, you. Even if you don't have that many followers or that many people on your email list, we're still going to talk about it. First, though, we're going to jump into what the show's about and the random news before we jump over to today's content. So if this is your first time joining, welcome. My name is Ed. I'm your host. This is a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. You never know what you're going to get. You just know that you are going to get a lot, and it's going to be well worth your time. So feel free to like, follow, and see first. But most importantly, go ahead and pop into your calendar or your reminders, Ed Talk TV, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Boom, done. Hit save on that bad boy, and then your phone and computer can remind you. That way you don't have to rely on Facebook, because we all know Facebook's trying to hold us back from being great. We just know that, right? Hey, Mindy. Hey, Erica. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I've missed you as well, too, Erica. We all have. So if this is your first time joining, be sure, hey, Paula, be sure to pop into the comments. As you can see, even if you're watching the replay, comments are important. The magic happens in the comments, and I can't stress that enough. So if this is your first time, be sure to say hello at the very least. Hopefully you'll get engaged with everyone throughout the broadcast, even if you're watching the replay. Don't think, you replay viewers, don't think that you don't count. You do, and I want to see you in the comments, because I follow up with you, and so does other people. So keep that in mind. So today, we're going to talk about how you're one post away from going viral. And we're going to talk about some examples here, because there's a lot of things that we've seen in the past, and there's a most recent example that we can talk about. But first, before we get there, we're going to talk about random news, because it all kind of flows into that. Well, actually, I should say it doesn't actually, because I switched it up. See, I switched it at the last second, so that's why. So let me show you what's happening in part of random news. We'll just do one random news story today. I think this is super cool. This is happening in my neighborhood. Not necessarily my neighborhood, but like in my city here, which is not too messing this all up for you guys. So in my city, not too far from where I'm at, this is happening. I just saw this pop up on Instagram. Check this out. So the city approved volunteers to go out and in certain locations do this street art for the crosswalk. How cool is that? I was like watching this, I'm thinking, wow, this is interesting. It's to help brighten your day, stand out a little bit more. And I don't know. I think that's I haven't really gone through the whole story. There's a video here where they're talking about more about the volunteers and how they're proceeding with this. But I think this is a really cool idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? Even if you're watching the replay, what do you think about having this street art, but it being for the crosswalk? They said, quote, "We find that when streets are painted, it slows down traffic and makes pedestrians feel safer." I could see that, because people are trying to look and see what's going on. It's just a step above that. Let's see. So that's just that. But how cool is that? I think that that's something that all crosswalks should at least try, because, having these two little lines are outdated. They're boring. We've seen them all over. I don't know about you guys, but in some of the areas when I drive by, I think these are green. They're like this weird green color that's totally random versus the white, or I think yellow is another one that they use. But look how much this pops compared to these little lines. It really gets your attention, and that's what it's about, right? Even if you're doing things for your business here online, you need to figure out how can you stand out. So if everyone's doing the same thing, how can you stand out? And if we take this example, you put your art up. You make it big, you make it bright, and you make it stand out just by it being you and what you do. So keep that in mind, because that's a big one right there. Now, when it comes to your one step away from going viral post here, and just a heads up, we may not go the whole hour here, and that's fine. I just always like to, prompt you ahead of time. But when you think about your posts, how many of you are actually actively posting on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're at? Mindy says, it's the $1 million question. How can you stand out? Exactly, Mindy. It is. It really is. And the answers are going to vary. And the reason why, well, let me just ask you before I give you all the info. Why do you think that the answers are going to vary? Can you tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay? That's right. They're going to vary because what works for you may not work for me. And what works for me may not work for you, which is why you have to test. And we talk about that a lot here on the show, is that you really have to test things out. You have to be willing, number one, to put yourself out there. And then you have to be willing to see what happens once you do that. Yes, exactly, Mindy. It depends on your audience. Exactly. That's why what may work for me, I could tell you exactly how to do it. I can show you and everything. But your audience is different than mine. It might not work. And then you'll be like, well, Ed, why isn't it working? It works for you. Why isn't it working for me? Because you have a different audience. That requires different needs. There's going to be tweaks that you need to do. And the only way you're going to figure that out is by actually testing. But you can't test until you actually start. And you have to put something out there, even if it's not ready. We talk a lot about that with websites. Some of you have websites that are sitting there and that are not live yet because you feel like they're not perfect and they're not ready to go. And we talked about this recently. You have to put it out there. I'd rather see a butt-ugly website that is up, that is live, that has your contact info, that I can actually connect with you on, than no website at all. That's probably like the worst thing that you can do for your business, is not having a website. That's probably the worst. Yes, you can have a business page on Facebook. Yes, you can have an Instagram profile. You can have a Pinterest. You can have a Twitter. You can have a LinkedIn. You can have whatever social media platform you want. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a website for your business, that's a red flag because you need your own space. And speaking of that, the reason why you need your own space, there's many, but let's take a real life example from today as well, because I know some of you were hitting me up and like, Ed, what is going on with Facebook Messenger? It's not working. I can't react to blog posts, to Facebook posts. You can't like or love or laugh or cry or be angry. All of a sudden that was gone, especially on mobile. I was looking at some of the posts and I was like, oh, I can only reply. There's no emotion that I can do. That's weird. And then all of a sudden my Messenger stopped working. Did any of you guys experience that today? It still won't work. When I go to Messenger on my phone, let's see if it will pop open, boom, and then it goes black, and then it closes. I've force quit. I've done all of that. It randomly started doing it a few hours ago, and I only figured it out I figured it out because I went to go use it, but I found out because somebody was trying to message me about theirs not working, and I had just closed the computer to go to lunch, and so I tried to answer it on the phone, and there was just no option. It wouldn't work, and I was like, oh, come on. So you have to remember that if you are building a business, if you have a business, it's great to use third-party programs like Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Yours is working, Mindy? Nice. And mine's working completely on computer, on the desktop, not on mobile though. So it's very odd. So you have to remember though that when you're building your business and when you're operating it, it's great to have these different avenues. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these places. It's great to have a presence on there. And you need it, right? Because you need to be able to share out what you have to offer. And I don't just mean your paid offers, I mean your knowledge and your value that you provide. But, and it's so easy to do this, we get so caught up in those other platforms that we forget about ours, that we actually own, which is our website. And the problem we run into is when things start happening on that site, on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever, when they start having these issues, like for instance, Messenger, not just for me, but for other people that run their business through Messenger, because I don't really run my business too much through Facebook in terms of the Messenger. I redirect everyone to email, because that's my form of communication. That's what keeps us all on the same page. That's what saves you time and money as well as me. But it's one of those things that when that stops working, you're like, crap, what do I do? I don't have anybody's phone number. I don't even know if I have their email address. I just connect with them all the time on Messenger. So you have to think about your backup plan, because it has happened. There was one time a power outage for Facebook here on the West Coast, and I just happened to be affected that morning, and I still remember, it was months ago, and for a good couple hours, I couldn't access Facebook, I couldn't access Messenger, I was completely off the grid. Nothing was working. It would just spin. And it was just like, oh, geez. I mean, I couldn't even connect with people to ask if they were having issues because I couldn't get on, you know? I mean, obviously I could go to Twitter and other places, but it was hard. It was really, really hard. And it's one of those things that it reminds you like, oh, we got to have our backup plans. Let's see what Erica says. Erica, and I got spammed via a hack to my cousin's account through Messenger. That was my Messenger fun today. Oh, see, yeah. I actually have a call with my graphic designer tomorrow to add a whole page to my book directing people to my website. Nice. So important to build there as much as we can. Facebook has been so buggy lately. So true, Erica. I'm glad that you bring that up because we have talked about that a lot on the show too, with Facebook being buggy. And, you know, listen, I can see that they're testing things. And of course, they're a large company, so when they test something, they're doing it to a certain profile, to just a few profiles. But you have to remember that their network of people is massive. And so if we were to test something with our network of people, we'll know right away, and chances are we could fix it or get somebody to fix it. They have so many things going on, and it can be a little bit harder to get those things fixed because they don't know about them right away. And it's like we've seen here, I had problems with Messenger, but some of you haven't. So it's very hard to determine. But it's all the more reason to remember not to solely build on those platforms because you just never know what's going to happen. And yes, they're adding all these cool features. You know, Instagram, there's a new feature for the business account. Hey, Ed members know because I just dropped a video in the group. There's different things going on with Facebook in terms of they're trying to, clean up the Facebook business pages a little bit, make it a little faster. We've seen that what was the other thing that they recently came out with? Or I haven't seen it on my profiles yet, but somebody had a Facebook Live where they were showing how, featured images on their profile, for their personal profile, could link to websites right away. It's not on my profile yet, so I can't show it to you guys. But there's things like that. Also, inside groups, some groups have the tagging system. What Hey Ed does, we were one of the first ones to get it. I love it, and we use that all the time. But most groups don't have that option, and so it's hit or miss, and you just don't know if and when you're going to get those features, and you don't know if and when they get taken away. That's the other thing that we have to remember. Mindy says there are suggested comments here on the live. There are suggested comments here on the live. I don't know what that means, Mindy. Is that, I'm curious. Oh, I'm curious. I'm going to open up the phone and I'm going to check it out. Let me see. They're meaning that when you watch this live, it's prompting you for comments with emojis. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because somebody showed earlier that there was a star option that you could hit the star, and they were asking if that gives people different. Yeah, see, I don't have the. Oh, well, you mean the emojis there? Or do you mean these emojis? Because those are always there for me. But I know that somebody was posting how there's a star that shows up on some of the lives now, and they were wondering if that's monetization going on or not. You just clicking in and pushing it is in without typing. Oh, nice. Okay, Mindy. And then I was thinking, here's what I would see where my brain went when you said suggested comments. I was thinking kind of like they do in Messenger and how Gmail on your phone, if you have Gmail app, it has suggested replies. I was thinking that it would pop up with a suggested, Ed is the greatest. And then you just tap it and then it, boom, it's a comment. Or, yes, I agree. Boom, it's a comment. So you don't actually have to type, you just go for it. That's what I was thinking. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Don't you worry. I'm sure of it. We're going to get there. So it's one of those things that you have to think about. Now, when it comes to your posts, to think about, you going viral, we're going to run through some things here to kind of show you some examples of the people that in most of these cases, I don't think they actually meant to go viral. They just posted and it just so happened to catch on. And some of these you might even recognize all of these, but it's very interesting. And so we're going to take a look at a few of these, and then we're also going to look at the most recent one. And then there's a really cool camera angle, I guess we can just say, that I want to share with you and kind of break down what you're seeing from this newscast. So let's go ahead and flip over to our screen here. So some of you might remember this one. The child interrupts the BBC news interview. So when this guy was doing his broadcast live, his kid walked in on him, and I don't know if the video is going to play because we're streaming and it's probably not going to. Yeah. So anyway, he walks in, and then the mom comes and tries to grab the kid and then closes the door, and it was a huge hit. I mean, huge. You can see how many views this one has right here. And then he had a big old interview afterwards. And so just that alone was not scripted. Just close that. It was not scripted. It just happened. And it's just there. Paula says, I love that one. Erica says, that was the best. I loved the other kid strutting in. Yeah, exactly. It was fun and it was there. Now, how many of you guys remember the Chewbacca mom? This was huge. Huge. I mean, the fact that this mom went in to the store, got a Chewbacca mask, it made her happy. She goes back into her car in the parking lot, puts the mask on, goes live on Facebook just to make people laugh and have a good day. And it just took off from there. You guys, she blew up. If you have not followed that story, you definitely have to see it because, I mean, it took her to Good Morning America. It took her to all these interviews. I think the kids, her kids got full-on scholarships, and I think at the time they were still in middle school or maybe even elementary school. I can't remember. They got taken to Disneyland. She does a whole lot of things now. I forget what else she's got going on now because I haven't been following her specifically lately. But I mean, it led to so many things. This was one 4-minute post that she put up on Facebook. That's it. One post. And it changed the game for her. Erica says, all of this reminds me of the quote, ain't nobody got time for that lady. Oh, yeah. It's all these different things, And then there's the blue and black dress. Oh, well, I had it up. The blue and black dress, but it's really white and gold. Do you remember all of that? And then now this is the newest one. Now this, I cannot tell you, this is so ridiculous. And I want to know, what do you guys think? I'm going to unplug my headphones here so you can hear it. If you have not heard this, I want to know, even if you have heard this, I want to know, Bernadette says I can't wait to go viral. Bernadette, you're going to go viral for sure. You got the moves. So I'm going to go ahead and play this loud. And I want you guys to let me know, what do you hear? Because this is what's blowing up the internet, and you probably have heard this and seen this. So let's see what here. What are you guys hearing there? Are you hearing Yanny or Laurel? I will tell you, I only hear Laurel. I can see at the very, very beginning, there's a little trick almost to it where it starts with the Annie, but it's clearly Laurel. What are you guys hearing in there? What are you hearing? I want to know. And have you already seen this and participated in this, or is this the first time you're hearing of it? Even if you're watching the replay, I clearly hear Laurel, and I do not know how you can hear clearly Yanny. So many people say, "Oh, it's Yanny." The big poll that I saw is in favor of Laurel, but it's just what? Minnie says, I was hearing Yanny, but that sounds like Lanny. Paula says, when I heard it this morning, I heard Laurel, but now I hear Yanny. Oh my goodness. See, isn't that crazy? And Erica's hearing Yanny. No. No, this is the simple post that somebody did. So simple, right? What do you hear? And it has Yanny, Laurel, and it just wants you to vote. It has gone viral and is going all over the place and has been on news talk radio and on news segments all over because everyone's in a debate about this. It's like you either hear it or you don't. I clearly hear Laurel, over and over and over. Some of you will hear Yanny, and it's so crazy. And Erica might be able to speak on this part coming up here in a second about the audio. Erica says, I don't get how Laurel is more obvious than Yanny. So hilarious. See? Okay, and so this is what's a trip. They're talking about, actually, I'll just play the Today Show clip here because they talk about the audio. Let's see if I can get
hear Yanny or Laurel. Let me play it for you.
Yanny.
It's Laurel.
Yanny.
I see that it's Yanny. Now I just heard Yanny.
Yanny.
Laurel. I don't hear Laurel at all.
Yanny.
Every once in a while I hear Yanny. All I hear is Yanny. Okay, well.
Which one is it? What's the right answer?
Well, we'll get to that, Craig. Hold your horses 1 second. So social media, it lit up with responses. Ellen says, literally everything at my show just stopped to see if people hear Laurel or Yanny. I mean, here's Yanny. Go figure. So we asked on Twitter, what do you hear? And the results, 51% say Laurel, 39% say Yanny. So there are several theories here, but audiologists say it comes down to the variations in how people perceive sound and the differences in the frequencies that your ear picks up. So experts say the original word was likely Laurel, but factors like the low quality recording, the speakers being used, how loud you play it, all affects how our ears perceive the sound.
Isn't that interesting? And that's the part, Erica, I was talking about that might relate for you because I know you're big in the audio area. But it's one of those things, see? And some of you guys are like, I don't hear Laurel at all. And all I hear is Laurel, just the Laurel. I'm glad I wasn't on video doing that face. That's very weird. Erica says that all makes sense. Yeah, so it comes down to, your, let me bring it back here. It comes down to, the recording and all of that. So I thought it was just very interesting. But see how a simple question, so simple, can just blow up and just be all over the place because you don't know. So the point of explaining that and sharing all of these examples with you is really to show you that what you think about posting Because some of you are thinking about posting, and then you're like, nah, I'm not going to post that. No, it's okay. No, why would anybody want to listen to that? Why would anybody want to answer that question? Like, you're second guessing yourself, but that could be the one post that kicks everything off for you. You know, I always go back to the Chewbacca mom, because that's just a classic example that you're just sharing your joy. You found something cool, you want to share it with whoever wants to pay attention, and if you brighten someone's day, they're going to share it. They're really going to share it. You know, people want to feel good. They want to have a good laugh. So that's why you want to think twice about not posting. You know, obviously, if you're having a party weekend and stuff, obviously think twice about that. But when it comes to like business stuff and having a poll and things, you want to make sure that you do share what you know and ask people. Erica says, you just never know. It's so true. You know, you guys, I've shared with you the Ed in the Kitchen series that I've been doing on my personal profile. I had no clue, not that it's viral. I wouldn't say it's viral. The internet's not blowing up over me, please. But I will say that it is one of the funniest video series I've done, especially the can opener one, because it's just me just asking how can I open up a flippin' can of beans with this crazy can opener I've never used before. You know, it's one of those things that's still one of the best videos, probably actually for my personal profile. That, and I probably would say my real raw moment of when a friend had passed. I went live on Facebook to I felt like I needed to, not so much for exposing, you know, the feelings I had, but the fact that I needed to share a resource for others so that they don't take their own life. And so I think those two are probably, if I had to guess, those would be the two most popular ones. And of course, in both of them, I'm being totally real and authentic. And I just did it. It's there. Don't get me wrong, I did think twice about going live and pushing that live button in both cases, but I knew that if I didn't, I'd be at a loss in terms of me still feeling like I'm holding back from people in terms of resources. That's the thing. My job is to show up, deliver, and engage. And I have to do these first two all the time. That's how I have always been. And so if I hold back, then it's kind of like, oh, I'm doing everyone a disservice. I really am. And so, you know, that's why a lot of you guys who are in the Hey Ed community, you know that I'm very active and that you get a lot of resources and you're getting a lot of help because that's what I do. Like, that's my job. And so that's why I keep up with that and really make sure that I'm getting the work done. And that work is helping you guys get to where you need to be. So think about that when you're thinking of your posts and what you should post and when you should post and all that stuff. Like, when you feel it and you're ready to go, just do it. I had somebody yesterday post, you know, them sitting in the car in the parking lot, a friend, and I thought it was one of the best videos. And I was like, yes. And they were just totally being open and honest about going live and what their thoughts were and stuff. And it was just like, it's awesome. It's cool. You don't have to love it. You don't have to hate it. Either way, just share it in terms of what you're doing and what you feel about it. Because chances are, whatever you're feeling, somebody else who's following you, one of your audience members, is feeling that same way. And they need to hear from you so that they can be like, yes, I totally relate. I thought it was just me. I'm so, so glad that it's you as well. Because now we're in the same boat. Now we can engage. We can talk about this. The other thing I wanted to show you here, did you notice the camera angles here? I'm going to play this clip back again. Because now I'm not going to play the sound. Now I want you to focus on the experience. Yeah? Yeah? The experience. So, let me get this clip back to where I want it to go here. First off, let me flip the screen here. So, did you notice the whole time she was using this computer screen, this monitor, and she was keeping engaged by showing her eye contact to us, her body language came to us, then it would go over and swipe the screen, and then come back to us, and then, let's see here.
People perceive sound in the frequencies that ear picks up. So experts say word was likely...
Well, apparently they won't let you.
...used how loud you...
Okay, so they won't let you do it, but do you see how the video changed there? Let me see if I can back it up more. We're with her here, and she's using all of the tech, but look at the camera angle. Look it. We're experiencing walking with her into the other room. We're getting behind the scenes. We're seeing the camera guys. We're now coming up into the roundtable discussion, and now we're a part of the discussion. Did you notice that? Do you see that? That is what really... I don't watch this show. This is like just a clip that I just saw today. But that is a great camera view because it pulls you, the viewer, into the audience. Like, if I had a whole full-on production here, believe that, I would have something like that. Be like, let's walk this way, and then the camera would follow. Let's go this way, camera would follow. Would have some cool angles up top, coming down, like side angles, all of that stuff, so that when I'm talking like a crazy person to a video camera, a little webcam, you could see on the side here from the other video that I'm talking to a camera, you know? And so it's one of those things that you want to be able to provide an experience for your viewers, if you're going live in this case. If it's for your website, it's for, you want to have an experience for them when they come to your website. And the way you do that is by testing and just seeing what you like. For instance, seeing a video clip like this, just from a talk show, and being like, yeah, I love that. How can I do that? Well, obviously they have a full-on production, so that might be out of the question for a lot of us, right? Erica says, we getting all Aaron's snorting up in here today. Oh boy, yes, walk and talk. And so it's one of those things that, you know, you want to provide an experience. And so maybe you can't do the whole full-on, you know, studio production. That's okay. That's okay. All you have to do is just think a little different in terms of that. So when you are maybe, say, posting on your Instagram stories, go a little higher with your angle. I'm going to crunch down so you guys can see me, but go a little higher with your angle. Maybe do, you guys, some of you guys probably saw when I had a photo shoot, I had a photographer come in and take some headshots. I had them do their thing, and then I took some behind-the-scenes footage, both of the actual setup and then of me sitting there waiting, you know, because I had to pause and wait and do all these different things. And so I got to bring you guys in, and it was a different perspective, a different angle than you normally get. Mindy says, my 5-year-old just recorded himself like he was doing a live broadcast. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Did he have fun? He's prepping. He's prepping. See, he's picking up what you're laying down because you did an awesome broadcast earlier, which we shared here on the page. So they know, the kids know. A lot of you guys have kids, and they are watching, and they're like, hey, mom's a superstar. I'm gonna be the next superstar. Let me have that camera. Let me just try this. And then they're going to go through it, you know? So keep that in mind and really think about just those little tweaks that you can do where you can just the slightest angle can change everything. You know, again, we've talked about this before on the show, but I'm gonna do a couple examples here of, you guys are the camera, right? You're watching me, obviously. And I'm going to do a couple examples as if I was holding the camera. So this is a good angle, which is why I have it here. This, not so much, right? Because you're only getting a part of me in there. Not so much. Not so much. Nope. 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 It's almost kind of like a, I don't know, box. What are we doing here? I don't even know. Anyway, you get the picture, right? That you want to have the camera work for you. So the way you get to do that is you just play with testing it a little bit. Check the angles. Don't just set it up, on your tripod and think it's good because you put it on a tripod. No, play around with it. Take a look at yourself in there and be like, okay, if I do this and I tilt it a little bit, is that too much? If I go a little higher on the tilt, is that too much? If I tilt it here, there, like, play around with it. You don't have to have anything crazy fancy. It's super simple. It's just about knowing that you have to play with the angles. And of course, you have lighting and all these other things you can try, but I'm just saying you want to see if you can get yourself in the frame in a decent way without making it too awkward or, we don't want to be like this because that's a little too close. And of course, you're not getting any of this beautiful hair right here. And we want to make sure that, you get a decent look here. Plus, nobody needs to be this close, up in here. I know I have great eyes. Thank you. I appreciate it, but we're good. This is a good angle right here. And then I have it I'm using my computer, so I have it on my desk, so it's kind of a distance away, right? So it gives me room so that I can't just keep getting closer because I have my desk and it stops me. So it's just those types of things. Mindy says, don't record up the nose. Exactly. Nobody needs to be seen up here. Nobody needs to be seen down here, right? I mean, it's nice, but we don't need to be seeing that. And that helps for a lot of us, to just get in that right position to see what happens. And it's like, not everything has to be perfect. I mean, look, I have a monkey picture. I have this awesome one. That's a tower fan. I usually don't have that there, but because summer's coming, it gets hot, so I have to have that close by. But I try to make just this little portion here look decent enough for being on camera. You may or may not have that option where you're at, and that's okay. All that matters is that we can see you and that you're showing up and delivering your content. And then from there, we can engage with you. We can share it out. And so, again, tying it back into you're one post away from going viral. It's just like, think about the lottery. I don't know how many of you guys play the lotto. I think I'm supposed to tonight because it's supposed to be a big one here. From what I heard on the radio, we'll see if I get to the store in time. But it's one of those things like, this doesn't actually cost you anything at all to post something. Nothing. Like, you literally just open the app, type what you want, and then either go live or post a photo or text or whatever you want. Like, it's super easy and super free. Yeah, that's the thing. Super free. Super free, super free. What? So, it's one of those things that you just have to push yourself a little bit and be like, you know what? This could make it happen. Let's try. You don't have to go with the intent in your head like, this is the one that's going to make me go viral, and you post it and you get one like and you're like, well, there goes my 5 minutes of fame. No, you don't play it like that. You just put it out there and you consistently do that. And then you will see once those things pop off, they will. And when I say viral, it could mean anything, to be honest. Because our lists are all going to be different. Our counts of followers and audience members are all going to be different. So your first viral video, that could be the first 5 people. I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you try something and that you put it out there and you see what happens. And then if something does happen, cool. You can go from there. Again, I always think back to the Chewbacca mom post and just how crazy that all went down. And it just it blows my mind still when I revisit that. And the fact that it all started from her just going live in her car to share with people what made her happy. That's it. And it made everyone's day. And it still does, because the laugh, you can't get away from that laugh. It's awesome. So just think about that stuff when you guys are coming up with ideas for posting and trying to not stress out, but you are stressing out about what to do. Just breathe. You got this. You just share what you're doing and just see what happens and ask questions, just like the Yanni versus Laurel. Clearly it's Laurel, I know, but it's one of those things that, it's a simple question. And if you come across something like that, you could be like, oh, I totally hear this, but I wonder what people think here. Or I saw this, like there's shirts that I have, when you look too close at them, like my eyes start bugging out a bit because I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like the stitching, the color, like they all blend together. I don't know, it's really weird. And so I can't look at the shirt too long because it freaks me out. My eyes are like, whoa. It's not like it's bright colors or anything, but it's just the way that the stitching is. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not fashion in that sense, but you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. If you want to be on the show on Friday, you get an F, Yanni. If you want to be on the show on Friday, which I hope some of you will, just come on and say hi for a few minutes. We do have our 100th episode that we're celebrating, so it's going to be fun, and it will be a day where you can promote in the comments. Yeah, you'll be able to promote your business in the comments on Friday for our 100th episode. It will be a lot of fun. There is a sign up. Let me go ahead and get that sign up in the comments for you. And then, of course, if you are curious about Hey Ed or you are thinking about it, you should definitely go check that out. All you have to do is go to checkwithed.com. Link is in the comments, and click on Hey Ed. It's definitely worth your time. I just redid the sales page actually for you guys, so you can take a look at that and just give me some feedback and let me know what you think. But that was fun. Carol says it's like those magic eye scenes. Yeah, it really is. Mindy says, oh, I thought I missed it. It was last Friday. Nope, it's this Friday. It is this Friday, 100th episode. I'm so excited. So it'll be fun. So I just popped that in the links for those who are listening, so it's there. But yeah, feel free. Hey Ed membership, the pricing will be going up June 1st for new members, so you want to lock in your low price now because it's a steal. But feel free to check out the new page. I just updated it, made it a little bit easier, hopefully, for you guys, and more information for you as well. And if you guys need anything, tag me here on Facebook, and we'll talk to you soon, all right? Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.